Good afternoon and welcome everyone. My name is Robin Wansley and I am the chair of the Administration and Enterprise Oversight Committee, and I am going to call to order our regular scheduled meeting for today, April 21st, 2025. Before we begin the meeting, I want to offer a friendly reminder to all committee members, staff, and the public that these meetings are broadcast live to enable greater public participation. These broadcasts include real-time captioning as a further method to increase the accessibility of our proceedings to the community. Therefore, all speakers need to be mindful of the rate of their speech so that our captioners can fully capture and transcribe all comments for the broadcast. We ask that all speakers moderate the speed and clarity of their comments with that in mind. So I will now ask the clerks to call the roll.
Councilmember Vita.
Present.
Ellison.
Here.
Cashman.
Present.
Chugtai.
Present.
Vice Chair Pomazano.
Present.
And Chair Wansley.
Present.
There are 6 members present.
Let the record reflect that we do have a quorum. I'll also remind my colleagues that we're going to be using speaker management today. So those of you, I'm looking at some folks, please make sure to sign in or let the clerks know if you're having any issues. With that said, we do have 30 items on the consent agenda, which I'll now read for the record. The first is a gift acceptance from the New York University for travel, lodging, conference registration, and meal expenses. The second is a gift acceptance from the National Association of County and City Health Officials, NACHO, of registration, lodging, and airfare. Number 3 is a gift acceptance from Aspen Institute of Registration, Lodging, and Airfare. 4 is a gift acceptance from the local Public Health Association of Registration, Lodging, Airfare, and Meals. 5 is a gift acceptance from the POLAD Foundation for travel, lodging, conference registration, and meal expenses. 6 is a gift acceptance from the National Association of City Transportation Officials of travel stipend, conference registration, and travel and lodging expenses. Number 7 is a bid for Hawthorne Office Build-Out Project. 8 is a bid for lead service line replacements Year 2 project. Number 9 is a bid for Sidewalk Replacement Program 2025. 10 is a bid for Ramp C Waterproofing and Structural Repairs Project. 11 is a bid for 12 Signals and Curb Ramp Improvement Project. 12 is Joint Powers Agreement with Minneapolis Schools or its affiliates for a dance education program. 13 is a contract with Native American Community Development Institute for fiscal agent services for the American Indian Memorandum of Understanding for Metropolitan Urban Indian Directors. 14 is contract with various vendors to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. 15 is contract with Speak Minneapolis LLC for public/community media access services to manage public access television. 16 is establish a consulting pool for IT staff augmentation consulting services. 17 is contracts with neighborhood organizations qualifying for Neighborhoods 2020 Share Resources and Collaborations Fund. 18 is contract amendment with Claire Housing for HIV site-based housing supportive services. 19 is a contract amendment with Touch Outreach for Youth Group Violence Intervention, YGVI services. 20 is contract amendments with various immigration legal services providers offering free immigration legal services to city residents. 21 is contract amendment with CoStar Realty Information, Inc. for access to real estate information database. 22 is a contract amendment with Certified Languages International, LLC for remote interpreting services. 23 is contract amendment with Axon Enterprise, Inc. for software licenses for body-worn cameras for the police department. 24 is contract amendment with Mid-Minnesota Legal Aid for legal services to support low-income Minneapolis renters. 25 is a contract amendment with Northland Business Systems for transcription services and cloud hosting migration. 26 is a claim settlement, Blaisdell Portfolio LLC. 27 is claim settlement, various claims concerning 43rd and Upton stormwater flooding. 28 is a legal settlement workers' compensation claim of David Vinson. 29 is a legal settlement Michelle Gross and Janet Nye v. City of Minneapolis. And then number 30 is a separation ordinance overview within the Police Department Legislative Directive. So with that, I will take a look at the queue to see if there's any questions. First, I see Councilmember Cashman.
Thank you, Chair Wansley. I do have a question on items 13 and 14, and I'm wondering if any staff are here to answer. The first one is a contract with the Native American Community Development Institute for fiscal agent services to American Indian Memorandum of Understanding for Metropolitan Urban Indian Directors. And I'm just aware that this came through committee, that there was an increase to that contract a couple of cycles ago, I believe in March, and now there's another increase. And so I was just wondering what the increase in funding was designated for, if that information is readily available.
Yes, I see we have staff here to speak to that. Thank
Yes.
you.
Hi, Chair Wansley, Councilman Cashman, Nick Ngo, Deputy Director for Neighborhood and Community Relations. Your question is regarding this agenda item. Excuse me. This one is actually establishing a new set of contracts with NACD, who will be the fiscal agent for our American Indian MOU work. The work that the legislative item that we brought back a few cycles ago was to close out previous contracts for 2024. So this one is just establishing the new set that we would require to continue this work.
Okay, thank you so
Yeah.
much. That does answer my first question. And my second question was about number 14 with the Green Cost Share Program. I see Isaac coming up. So when I read through the RCA, we have 3 institutions that are utilizing this ability to cost share improvement. So we have Metalmatic, Sabathany, and then Menlo Equities, which that one was listed as being in Ward 7, but I couldn't figure out which building that they own that they're doing a fan upgrade to.
Yeah, Chair Wansley, Councilmember Cashman, the Menlo, sorry, I'm going to move this up. The Menlo Properties one is right by the Target Corporation building.
Do you know what the address is by chance?
Not off the top of my head, but I could send it to you.
Okay, thanks. That will be helpful. I just want to know exactly what they'll be doing to the building with the support of our Green Cost Share program.
Yeah, so the project is, if you think about an HVAC system, you're moving air in, taking air from the outside, kind of cycling that through. So right now they have one or a couple big fans, and they're basically replacing that one big fan with a bunch of little fans. So they can modulate up and down how much that is working, partly in response to kind of really variable occupancy rates in a lot of the downtown buildings now. So yeah, it's just like, think if you had like one big fan in your house versus a bunch of little fans, you kind of adjust those little fans a little bit more.
Okay, much more energy efficient.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the explanation. And if you could just email me what the address is, that'd be
Yeah.
great. Appreciate it, Chair.
Councilmember Cashman, did you also want to note the address as a question for staff follow-up then for a memo?
Sure, yeah, sounds good.
Awesome, so we'll note that for the clerks. And then I see Vice Chair Palmisano in queue next.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to sing the praises of item number 2. It's the Joint Powers Agreement with Minneapolis Public School for dance education. This is such a positive story. Thank you to the Arts and Culture Department for helping to effectuate this. Dance can provide a lot of physical and mental well-being for our younger residents and students, and this is an agreement that impacts all 13 wards in our city. 42 elementary schools, 11 middle schools, 12 high schools, 13 alternative schools, this is just from the RCA, and across all 5 service areas for the Park and Rec buildings. So there's rarely something that's able to be brought forward by this department that has such far-reaching impact across many wards, and this impacts all of us. So just wanted to highlight that as a really positive thing. Thank you for all of your work on it.
Awesome. Next, I see Councilmember Ellison.
Thank you, Chair Wansley. I was also going to highlight item 12, the Joint Powers Agreement. I think it's tremendous work. And I remember talking to someone, a representative from the schools, a couple of months ago about their concerns with having to get rid of the dance programs. And so to see, our department stepping up in this way is just like it's tremendous. It's the exact kind of work we should be doing, and thank you all for your leadership on that. And then I also wanted to just equally, maybe not equally, but certainly lift up item 15, our public access contracts. Really important. It's how the public understands what we do. It's how, it's why we're, maybe it's why the chamber's not always full, right? Because people can just watch it on YouTube. And when I saw Speak Minneapolis, I got a little bit disoriented because I remember Be Fresh, but it's the same thing. And so still excited to see Be Fresh Productions and Speak Minneapolis LLC making sure that the public knows what we're up to. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilmember Ellison. I'm in queue next. I also want to sing the praises of another department specifically for item number 20, which is the contract amendment with various immigration legal services providing providers offering free immigration legal services to city residents. This is being offered or administered through the Office of Immigration and Refugee Affairs, which is a department based here at the city. And I believe the funding that we're seeing to support these great organizations providing these services stem from a budget amendment that I believe myself, Council Vice President Chuck Ty, and Councilmember Chavez brought forward just this past December, and recognizing that, one, this was already a vulnerable constituency of ours that has been in dire need of legal support, as recognizing our immigration legal services was already, for a lack of better phrasing, just a hot mess and just a very challenging system to navigate. But even more so with the new administration in place that is very anti-immigrant. So I'm very, I can't even say excited, but I'm at least assured in some ways that the city continues to show up in its promise to serving all residents regardless of their immigration status, regardless of their ethnic background, with contracts like this. And if residents are interested in knowing how to access resources like this, I encourage you to contact 311 as a starting place. So just wanted to give also praises to our ORA department for continuing to support this crucial work of making sure we remain a welcoming city for all of our residents. So with that, I don't see anyone else in queue. So I will make the motion to approve all items on the consent agenda, excluding item 28, which is the legal settlement. So I will move approval of items 1 through 27 and then 29 through 30 for approval. So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That said, I will ask for a roll call vote on item 28.
Councilmember Vita.
Aye.
Ellison.
Aye.
Cashman.
Aye.
Chugtai.
Nay.
Palmazano.
Aye.
And Wansley.
Nay.
There are 4 ayes and 2 nays.
That motion carries, and that will be forwarded to full council. That said, we will move on to the discussion portion of our agenda. Next up is a bid from Sheehy Construction Company for the Minneapolis Convention Center meeting rooms remodel. With that, I will invite up Jeff Johnson, the Executive Director of the Convention Center, to come up and speak for this item. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Chair Wansley, committee members. Again, my name is Jeff Johnson. I'm the General Manager of the Minneapolis Convention Center. Today, we are bringing forth for your approval the low bid of our Phase 3 meeting room renovation. This final phase of construction seeks to completely rebuild 42 of our meeting rooms, and that's around 37,000 square feet of space. and it's our entire second level of the convention center. This project will include update of the fire protection system, the building control system. It'll bring new lighting, new ceilings, new ductwork. We will be renovating and replacing the mechanical and movable wall systems within our rooms that allows us to change the sizes of the rooms for our clients. We're doing electrical and data upgrades also, bringing new doors, carpet, finishes that really not only will make the rooms more functional, but also will add an updated look that will make sure that we remain competitive. So last year, I came before this body with phase 2 of this meeting room project. That included 39 rooms. And in 2023, I came forward with phase 1 of this project, which was the prototype of 6 rooms. So we've been very carefully planning out this large project over many years, and we want to make sure that we can remain open while we're doing these renovations so that we don't have to turn clients away. But we do have to block our space when we do these types of renovations, and so we have blocked a time frame for our entire second floor, these 42 rooms, which again is obviously challenging because by blocking space, that means that we can't rent that space. And so we have this time period in our calendar of events in order to make sure that this project can get complete and we can still maintain those economic benefits to our community that when we host our events. So we are doing this project because it's important to invest in our 35-year-old building. Old carpet, sagging ceiling tiles, and broken walls are not acceptable to our clients, and we lose business when our building is not well maintained. And at its most basic level, this is also about our staff. So our staff are the ones out working in our building and making sure that they can do what our clients ask. So even if you start to talk to our IATSE Local 13 production technicians, they'll tell you how they struggle to find a data port that actually is working, not broken, that they can plug into when a client needs it. If you talk to our Teamsters, they'll talk about how they've had to relearn how to do our movable walls because they're broken and there's not parts that we can get in order to fix them. So all of these things have a huge impact on how we are able to work with our clients and produce events in our huge building. There's a lot of moving parts in our building, and there's a lot of things that go on in our building. We're not doing this just to look nice or as an interior decorating component. We're doing this because we have worn out components of our building and we need to replace them. Just this past April 1st, we hosted our first national convention of the year. That's the National Association of College and Research Libraries. They were the first event in our stage 2, phase 2 part of the building, and we received great feedback from them on how the space worked for them, but also we received great feedback from our staff who said that the components worked really well for them and they were able to do their jobs well. So really excited about this third phase and final phase to bring the rest of the building up to that same standard. So today I'm asking for your approval so that we can complete this final phase of this project that we have been planning for many years. These funds come from the Downtown Assets Fund, which is generated by revenues and taxes that are derived in part by the business that we bring to Minneapolis. We have planned out the budget impacts and the resources have been laid out in our 5-year financial direction. And so we have the resources to do this, we've planned for it, and we're ready to execute this project. So with that, I will just stand for questions.
Thank you, Director Johnson. I do see Councilmember Cashman in queue first.
Thank you, Chair Wansley, and thank you, Director Johnson. And thank you so much for uploading on LIMS this capital plan as well. I think it's important for us to be able to review it. But my first question would be about if this phase 3 bid is what you initially budgeted for, or if that has shifted.
Chair Wansley, Councilmember Cashman. Actually, we were very worried going into the bid with all of the what's going on and with all of the costs that are changing. We were very much surprised. We had expected it to be a little bit higher than it was, and so it came in under $10 million, still a large sum, but we had in our budget a little over $10.5 million for this project, so we were happy with that and
Okay, so
glad
it
for
was
the number.
under what you had
Correct.
budgeted for. Okay, that's good to know. And then my second question, and I may not expect you to have an answer to this today, but would love to know just about the health of our downtown assets fund. Would you be able to provide, and maybe you can guide me on what the best format to provide this is, but what's the health of our downtown assets fund as it was compared, this time last year, this time maybe 5 years back? I would like to see how the trajectory of the fund has been going. If you could even include pre-pandemic numbers, so maybe from 2019 to now, just with the health of the downtown assets fund, because I know that this project has pulled from the downtown assets fund, but also will contribute to it, right? And so we want to be making these investments, but would like to be able to measure the success of the downtown assets fund in future years against this moment in time as well. Is that something that you'd be able to provide for the committee?
Chair Wansley, Councilmember Cashman, Finance is the expert on and Justin Coles is here today, but we can definitely put something together. The 2025 plan is still, we're not getting a lot of information yet. We've only got 2 months of the taxes as they've come in for 2025, and then obviously 3 months of our revenues as they've come in. And so the 2025 information is still kind of percolating. What I can tell you, though, is that the Downtown Assets Fund is healthy.
Yeah.
The Downtown Assets Fund, we've worked really, really hard coming out of the pandemic to make sure that it was shocked by the pandemic, but we wanted to make sure that we knew it would take several years, and we had thought that sometime in 2025 is when we would say we were recovered. I think that's been, it maybe happened a little bit sooner. 2024 was a really good year for Minneapolis, for the Downtown Assets Fund, for the taxes that were generated in Minneapolis based on events. 2025 so far is looking to be a little softer. And so I think that is something that we're watching right now. Any financials, again, are very difficult. We saw January come in very high, February came in a little bit lower, and so things are kind of hard to predict right now. But we're feeling good about how we're managing the resources in that. And again, these capital funds are a part of a yearly capital budget that we spend. This isn't necessarily more money than we normally spend. It's just a bigger project that we are doing instead of many smaller projects. And so we have that planned out 25 years into the future, knowing that the decisions that we make are there to make sure that we always have the resources to take care of the building. So that's a long way of saying, yes, we can, and we'll work with finance in order to put something together. It may not be right away. It may take a little bit because of that backlog of just waiting for some of that information to come in.
Okay, yeah, whatever information that you could provide, before the full council meeting on this item would be really helpful in terms of look back and trajectory. And just one question for you too is what do you think is the reason for the slowdown in 2025? Is it the fact that people are traveling less due to the Trump presidency? Because we heard that at the Meet Minneapolis meeting that people were hesitant to make reservations just based on all the uncertainty in the market.
Chair Wansley, Councilmember Cashman, we really work out about 5 years in time. And so if you think about what was happening 5 years ago, obviously a lot of uncertainty based on the pandemic. It was very difficult to actually book clients and book events. And so I think 2025 is really more of, at this point, is more of a softness in that trying to find new business based on just the coming out of the pandemic. What we have seen, though, is in 2026 and beyond, things are looking very well, very encouraging. When you look more into the economic factors that are happening today and what is happening in our events that we are hosting right now, we are seeing, again, it's not across the board, but in general, some of our public shows, which we just had the auto show this last weekend, we've had boat show, home and garden show. Those shows seem to be about 5% down. What's that attributable to is I don't know that I'm qualified to say that, but we're just seeing that the people are a little hesitant. People don't really know what to expect, and so we're seeing a little bit of that softness.
Okay, Thank you so much. I will move this item for approval with the understanding that we can get some information on this fund before the next council meeting. And, you know, the convention center is in Ward 7. I'm really happy that it's there and bringing so much life to this neighborhood. I think one of our goals together has been to create the convention center, reach a little bit beyond just the walls of that building and actually into the neighborhood, into Loring Park, and making sure that we're directing convention center visitors to our local Loring Park restaurants and so on, and making sure that everyone understands the benefit of our convention center to, you know, from the workers of the convention center, Teamsters, IATSE, et cetera, but also to the small business community, local business community nearby. So thanks for, you know, doing the work of explaining that in detail, and thank you, Chair, for welcoming my questions and comments.
Yeah, before moving to Vice Chair Palmisano, did you also want to note the question that you had around the financial records for a staff memo? I'm also slightly,
Yes.
if you could recap it for the clerks.
Yes, so the question was about the 5-year look back of the Downtown Assets Fund and an anticipated 5-year trajectory based on information that's available now.
Awesome. And then can I have a second for Councilmember Cashman's motion for approval, which actually, yeah. Vice Chair Palmisano seconded. And with that, we can segue right into you, Vice Chair Palmisano is in queue.
Thank you. You know, this is just kind of like the old saying, you've got to spend money to make money. If we don't invest in our facility, we can't compete as well for business. This concept spans all industries, not just us. In conversation, Mr. Johnson, you mentioned that your goal is that no one would ever be able to tell that this is a 30-year-old building. And in my experience of going in and out of the convention center, that's absolutely true. The Downtown Assets Fund, other than times that the City Council has subtracted from it in recent past, is absolutely the appropriate source of funding. This funding is meant to use extra tax income from downtown in order to support these kinds of improvements. And this is one that doesn't just keep up stadiums, and that this really helps us to make money from the tourism industry. I am wondering what type of feedback you've gotten from customers who are already using the refresh spaces in phases 1 and 2. I can see a scenario where customers only want to book the updated spaces or would look for hosting elsewhere if we can't offer it all to them. Could you comment on that a little bit?
Chair Wansley, Vice Chair Palmisano. It's actually interesting now because we have what's called site visits, where we fly clients in to come and take a look at our building. And as we're walking them around, we now are being able to show them the space that's been renovated, and then we go to the space that hasn't been renovated. And, you know, it is a stark difference. They're still nice rooms. They still are rooms that we've used, but you can tell that they have met their time, that they need to be refreshed, and that things need to be fixed inside of them. And so it is very much on display, I guess, right now at the convention center, because half of our building is renovated and half of our building is not renovated and needs to be.
Thank you.
Awesome. With that, there is no one else in queue, and this item has been moved and seconded. So with that, we can take a voice vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those not in favor say nay. All right, the ayes have it, and that item has been forwarded to council. Next up, we have item 32, which is a receive and file related to the Metamorphosis Leadership Development Program. We're going to receive an update on that program, so I will ask Saray Garnett. I always mispronounce that last part of your name, so I will just ask our Deputy City Operations Officer to come and give a presentation on this item.
Good afternoon. My name is Saray Garnett Hohuli. I'm the Deputy City Operations Officer for Internal Services within OPS. Chair Wansley, Vice Chair Palmisano, and council members, I'm here today to give you an update on the Metamorphosis Development Program as requested by the Office of Chair Wensley. Previously, you've heard about Metamorphosis through presentations done by REIB, Race, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging, by our director, and our Chief Human Resource Officer of HR. Today, I will provide additional insights into the program, an overview of the program and its goals, implementation, or as we like to think of it, integration of program objectives in our work. And also impacts shown through our annual city employee engagement survey, which is our main tool for measuring success. And measuring success will be by the My Mini survey and focusing on workplace well-being as well as anti-racist actions having an impact with staff. Next slide. Metamorphosis was launched in 2022 in response to city leaders asking for knowledge and tools to help support their staff post-COVID and post the murder of George Floyd. And making sure that it was done in a culturally agile way. After identifying that need, we got to work on what a development program would look like and what our goals would be as an enterprise, as leaders. The goal of the leaders going through the metamorphosis journey is as follows: to create an internal work culture that is anti-racist and engaged in fostering racial repair, creating change that is not based on just words but focused on equipping leaders with knowledge and skills so we can move forward towards actions and system changes, and also supporting city leaders to adopt and integrate anti-racist concepts into the identity of the city culture, which will create sustainable practices in any environment or with any leadership team. The program, as I stated, started in 2022 with top leaders, including the mayor and chief and deputy operations officers. It expanded in 2023 to include director-level positions and deputy-level positions across the entyre enterprise, touching 28 city departments, and as I stated, the mayor's office as well. So for a total of 29 city departments. The 7-month leadership program with in-person and virtual sessions included online learning and peer-to-peer coaching to create strong leadership culture and relationships. In total of this program was 107 leaders have participated in Metamorphosis. Each leader was put in a track or a group that supported them in building the skills and support systems to make this work sustainable. In 2024, all leaders consistently had job success factors around cultural agility included in their performance reviews. They had having them demonstrate what they have learned around racial equity and anti-racism, as well as assess their direct reports on cultural agility to build up the anti-racist workplace culture. Taking learnings from lots of allergies today, huh? Taking learnings from Metamorphosis and integrating them into the core of our city systems, it will take time, lots of time, and patience. Our approach is to identify and fix gaps in our systems that stand in the way of unified anti-racist workplace culture. By leveraging centralized systems, we aim to make a bigger impact and reduce duplication of efforts. Moving forward from an in-class learning and discussion to actions, internal services teams have been working across the enterprise to identify and create programs that embody our anti-racist objectives. We are building our successful programs instead of starting from scratch, scaling what works and get rid of things that don't. As I've said, culture change takes time, and we're addressing or attempting to address root causes in the systems and policies to create a strong anti-racist foundation. Through the Metamorphosis journey, tracks have been identified for the following objectives by the leadership, by the cohorts. Identifying and preparing and sponsoring future leaders, articulating and supporting city values, ensuring visibility across the city, specifying behaviors for individuals within the system to embody values in their daily actions, internally and out in community, ensuring accountability and transparency across the city to consistently apply values in practice. This is a renewed commitment for work we have been doing before this program was developed. Working closely with the rest of the enterprise and equipping our staff with anti-racist tools and knowledge, Internal Services supports this work and helps the enterprise support programming with identified objectives. Anti-racism as a city value can be seen in some of our existing work. Topical trainings and leadership development series like Management Essentials, department-specific pathway programs focused on development, professional development, retention, and growth. For example, many of you have supported and been a part of Career Pathways, which started in regulatory services. City values as a focal point in HR programming for city staff, as well as others that were highlighted in previous legislative directives on work culture and a specific staff memo on May 27, 2024. Our HR department is creating additional learnings opportunities to bring metamorphosis to the rest of the enterprise with the Monarch Leadership Development Program. Again, rooted in racial repair framework, the Monarch program is designed to move participants from awareness to action, helping us acknowledge history, addressing systemic inequities, and taking meaningful steps towards creating an inclusive and just workplace. It's not just about learning, it's about transforming how we show up, how we lead and collaborate across our differences. The official launch of the Monarch program will be Q4 of 2025. Next slide. The survey provides important data to the city overall and to each department to measure whether workplace initiatives are having the intended impact. So our survey outcomes also help leaders focus their department on team-level interventions. And I will say beyond interventions, these statistics also tell us what is working and how to further that. In 2023, we saw a participation rate of 48%. In 2024, participation rose to 58%, with an increase of 10%, or 586 additional staff taking the survey. We also saw an increase in staff who have historically not participated in the survey engage and provide us with their feedback. This includes Black, African American employees, Asian, Hispanic, and Latino staff. My Minneapolis survey period went from October 21st to November 15th of 2024. The next survey will be out in fall of 2025. In 2024, new workplace racial equity questions were incorporated into the My Mini survey as a result of metamorphosis, because we were talking more and we wanted to understand what our employees were saying. We asked city staff what would need to occur for them to become more active in advancing racial equity. More than half of the participants were happy with their current level of engagement. Most others saw opportunities for their leadership to help them engage in advancing racial equity. This is where the Metamorphosis Development Program can help our city leaders demonstrate the importance of racial equity through their actions by, one, very simple thing, listening to staff suggestions, and also holding space for racial equity and inclusion discussions. As we look to identify impacted areas in the survey results, we are focused on 3 areas of engagement: cultural agility, workplace racial equity, and workplace well-being. I will note that we do have an additional 5 categories that we are not discussing for the purposes of this presentation, but focusing on the most important. In each engagement area, there has been an increase in favorability, although the percentage increase is ranging from 3% to 4%, we still see this as a win. We're moving the dial. Changing workplace cultures takes time. I said it before, it takes time. But we're doing it with care, we're trying to do it with intentionality, and most importantly, we're trying to make it sustainable. And sometimes folks want it faster, but if we want something to stick and be done, we've got to be able to pivot and listen and be able to make a shift. The work that has been done in the last 18 months has been rewarding, it's been challenging, and it's been hard. And that today is just a little insight of all of the things that we've been trying to do, but we're making a shift. We're actually taking a moment to stand on the values that we say we want and that we need. We need to be able to move forward and toward a more anti-racist workplace with behaviors and actions. And the data is showing that these soft skills are taking hold and making a real impact with our staff and workplace culture. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Deputy Director Garnet Ukuli. I'm looking to see if there's anyone before I got it. Okay. Well, I'll start off with some questions, just going into actually where you left off on, and it's also mentioned on slide 7. I actually want to know if you could reference what are those additional 5 categories. I don't know what it means by for the purpose of this presentation, but it would be good to know what are the categories that were explored, and if you're seeing similar trends that you're seeing in these 3 where they're moving upward.
What I'll be able to do is get that information back to you in a memo to give you all of the categories and the additional information that you're looking for consistently.
Great. So noting for clerk, staff memo. Did you get that question? Okay, I'll repeat. I asked for all of the categories, so the 5 that's missing from this presentation, and the status of their trends, if it's moving upwards or wherever that may be. The next question that I also had kind of goes back to slide number 5. Wait, let me make sure that was right. Yeah, so I wasn't sure if this was related to the following slide where you talked about the enterprise-wide work, but I'm just wanting to see if you have already identified or the consultant has started to identify like what those gaps are, even in these early stages. Or is slide 6, those specific 4 subsections are supposed to be responding to potential gaps?
So I would say I wouldn't call them gaps, it's gaps and needs, and those are 2 different things, right? So as we start, we've fully gotten all of our leadership through the Metamorphosis program. We're starting to build that in-house so we can replicate that through HR and race, equity, and belonging. And those, as we go through that will be gaps that we will identify as we go on. And also these gaps are, our last graduation cohort was last summer. So as we progress, we're checking in and we're talking with our leadership, our department heads to see how that go, and that's how we are addressing things and finding out if there are gaps. When we talk about these 4 tracks, these are the 4 tracks that have been identified by the cohorts that met throughout Metamorphosis. So identifying more professional development. That is something that has occurred, as I stated, in reg services and other places informally, and we are starting to look at formalizing that process through HR, through the recommendation from these tracks. So that's what those 4 things are.
Okay, in response to that. Okay, those are the initial questions that I had. Not seeing anyone else in queue. Well, thank you, Deputy Director, for this presentation and staff. With that, I will ask the clerks to receive and file that presentation. With that, we have adjourned all business here today. Pretty quick meeting for AM. So with that, enjoy the rest of your Monday.
Thank you.
Thank you.